Okay, let's try this. This is going to be a Urien offensive pressure guide. There's a big issue that I see with a lot of new players where they get very comfortable with poking. They get comfortable with the early phases before they have meter, and they have a challenge finding ways to get their offense started. So, we're going to look at jumping pressure. We're going to look at dash pressure. We're going to look at throw pressure. We are going to look at anti-air sphere and anti-air pressure and how that starts things up. We're going to look at air-to-air pressure. We're going to look at landed headbutt pressure. We're going to learn about landed EX headbutt pressure. We're going to learn about landed tackle pressure, blocked tackle pressure, and back throw pressure. I think for the most part that will cover essentially all the ways that Urien gets the corner and starts his 50-50 / sweet spot / mid-screen unblockable pressure. Also, parry and punish pressure. Those would be, I would say, the main ones. So let's start with throw pressure. So throws are extremely important in third strike, and even more so for Urien. When you get a throw, your opponent is likely going to quick rise, and when they quick rise, they move a sizable amount of distance towards the corner. So with each throw, they move towards the corner. And Urien, against most of the cast, is able to pressure in a few ways. He's able to pressure like with a walk. He's able to pressure with a dash. He's able to pressure with a delay and then the same. So this is all just three different versions of crouch medium kick. There's the delayed crouch medium kick. There's the dash meaty crouch medium kick. There's the walk meaty crouch medium kick. There's the with jab crouch medium kick. There's different ways for you to pressure with the same move. And you can extrapolate this to all of his moves during Oki situations. So Oki is the concept of the wake up offense and defense. So wake up offense for Urien, you can go in with dash throw again. You're able to go in with walk in, walk out, nothing to bait something out. You're able to walk in and dash in and do immediate attack. You're able to walk in and do immediate attack. You're able to walk in, walk out, and then do immediate attack for a delay. You can whiff a normal and do an attack. You can change your timings with moves like that. You're able to do partitions, which are more effective when you have an Aegis Reflector. You're able to do tackle partitions. You're able to do headbutt partitions. You're able to walk in, walk out, do nothing, and then throw. You can do whiff crouch, nothing throw. You can do a whiff crouch jab throw. There's a lot of different ways that you can get things going. But I believe that partitions off of tackle are the most... They're kind of like... This is a 50-50 here. As I'm dashing into a tackle Aegis, and it should always be with tackle Aegis, because raw tackle is punishable on block by almost everyone in the game. Everyone in the game, I think. So, if you're going to learn a partition, I would say the first one to learn would be tackle partitions into Aegis, primarily towards the corner. So after I get a throw in the corner, one of my favorite things to do is something along these lines, because I'm able to get into a situation where I can create kind of 50-50s off of just a throw. The throw also opens up, outside of the tackle partitions and the various walking and dashing forms of Oki, and there are many, and you should watch high-level match footage to get a sense of what players are doing and what you could take from them, and how to... and of course, this changes based on whether or not the opponent quick rises. So if the opponent doesn't quick rise, and you dash in, I'm just kidding, hitting the reset button. So that changes things. So the idea, when they don't dash in, you can double dash, and you can actually take more space. A lot of moves in third strike are able to corpse carry, so you can corpse carry with a tackle as well, but that's not a common way to move the corner. But you can move your opponent when they're on the ground. And it's important to get comfortable with doing things like that. And the concept of, you can keep the partition. That's what's kind of cool. Is like, if he doesn't quick rise, you can whip a stand jab, or you can delay it. So I still have that partition. So that's pretty cool. And it's important to kind of get a sense of whether or not your opponent's quick rising. But this opens up the next extremely valuable tool, which would be the Fireball Aegis pressure after a knockdown. So if they don't quick rise, you're actually able to get a what's known as sort of like a ghetto unblockable. So you can go to a ping pong. This would be like an advanced way of doing it. But for newer players, if you're not comfortable with the ping pong, you can actually just go with this, which is quite strong. You can go with the headbutt over, crouch, short, dash. Now it's gonna at some point make you vulnerable to throw if you do that, but it kind of resets and does a nice chunk of little damage. You can go right into forward medium kick. So remember, this will not work if they quick rise, but this is sort of like a nice quick ghetto way to get something going. When I get this, I will go into, primarily I'll go into throw, or I'll go into ping pong. So ping pong is quite nice. You can keep the corner with reverse tackles and things along those lines. If they parry, you're able to throw, which then bounces them off the mirror. But the reality of the situation is that most of your opponents are going to be quick rising when they're thrown, and that changes the dynamic of this kind of throw, fireball, Aegis pressure. So in an ideal world, you'd be able to get the jab fireball, jab Aegis, fierce headbutt over into an unblockable. But a lot of people are going to quick rise, and when they do quick rise, you can actually switch it to a medium Aegis, or you can switch it to a fierce Aegis, and you can go into sweep, or you can go into forward fierce. Those are the two obvious 50-50s right there, and it is a pure 50-50, and it can be quite strong. It's vulnerable, though, so if that sphere is parried, and it sometimes is by strong players, if that sphere is parried, and you can put him on parry, and you'll see, strong players are looking for that sphere, and if they parry, can you parry, please, Rhea? He's on parry never. Now he's on parry always. So he'll parry this. Dude, what the fuck, bro? Like, do you even practice at all? I wonder why. I don't know. Whatever. Maybe it's a red parry timing there. I don't think so. Regardless, sometimes they will parry that sphere, and it's going to leave you vulnerable, so there's a risk there. But if I put this on random quick rise, there's a very important concept here where you're actually able to adjust during the jab sphere which Aegis. So look at, I can hit confirm. Oh, sick. Now he's going to start parrying. But you can actually hit confirm and see, do I need to do medium? Or so you can do, so I fucked up. So, but you can create scrambles. But you can physically see, I can confirm he was into, he did not quick rise. But if he does quick rise, so it is challenging. You have to really be focused. But you can see, and you can create the 50-50 if they do quick rise. See, he did quick rise, so I can go to a 50-50. Let's see, does he quick rise? He does quick rise, so I can go to a 50-50. Let's see. He does quick rise, so I can go to it. You can go to something like this. You can go into something with a medium sphere, or medium Aegis, which makes it more difficult for them to punish. So this is a really easy concept. That's a nice little setup there. It's a very easy concept to kind of grasp, and it's important to understand that the tackle into Aegis pressure and the throw into Aegis pressure is actually strongest when you're near the corner. So when you're near the corner and you get a throw, and remember it's still on random guard here, you get, oh, come on, he's on red parry, that's what it is. What the, just stop being so sick, Ryu. Jesus Christ. So, watch this. If he wasn't blocking, now he's on always blocking. Watch. This is super powerful stuff. Right into the Aegis. Right into tackle, headbutt. Right into backdash, fireball, sweet spot. I mean, that's how you get pressure started. It's one of the ways. Same concept would apply to a tackle partition. This is how you get pressure. See? Same thing applies to something like this. I get a throw. Off of a normal throw, I get a sweet spot, right? So the throw starts things up really, really nicely because the throw allows you to kind of create these annoying 50-50 scenarios. And it's what you do with the throw. Do you go into fireball Aegis pressure, which you're more than welcome to and you can get a lot out of? It has its risks. Do you go into a 50-50 with the charge partition low? Or do you go into a 50-50 with the charge partition high? Or do you go into another throw? Or do you... See, this is that type of pressure when you have the corner and you have Aegis is not good. This is where you want things... You want to cook things up. You want to start the process of making things happen. So it all comes from this throw. If you go into Fierce Aegis in the corner, you can get that really, really strong. And this is essentially universal across all members of the cast. If you want to make this a little bit safer, you can go into Medium Aegis. If you get a sweep, he'll bounce back. And then you get the corner that way. You can also adjust. So I fucked it up. But look, it was right. So you can see, he kept doing quick rise, so I missed it. But you can see sometimes, let's see if he ever is going to do it again. No. See, get a little 50-50. So it's important to kind of get a better sense of the value of throw. When you're in the mid-screen, it's best to look for more throws. It's best to try to land a poke in isolation or bait something out. When you're near the corner and you get a forward throw, it's a really valuable time to try to start some offense up and try to get the thing kind of moving forward. Okay? So I discussed that more in both the Tackle Aegis video and the Fireball, the Sphere Aegis video. So that's throw. Throw is very, very, very powerful for a multitude of reasons. Let's talk about jumping. When you jump at an opponent, you can go into a multitude of combos. Those would be the primary ones. Variations would be something like this. Something like that would be a variation. But they're all going to start with jump roundhouse, and they're either going to go into stand medium punch, crouch short, crouch jab, or launcher. That's going to be where they all come from. In rare cases, you can do something that's like more advanced, but I think it's actually kind of stupid. But you could theoretically go into something more advanced. Forgive my execution out of playing on arcade cabinet yesterday for a long time. So, the jump roundhouse is the cornerstone. The jump roundhouse can be done high, it can be done middle, or it can be done low. Those three different timings allow for different combos. If you land one high, you can go into crouch short headbutt. If you land one low, you can go into launcher. If you land one high, you can go into stand medium punch tackle. If you land one middle, you can go stand medium punch tackle. And if you land one low, you can go stand medium punch tackle. Stand medium punch tackle is universal across all three heights. If you go high, or if you go low, you can't get crouch short headbutt. Only when it's high. See, if I'm lower, it will not combo. Crouch jab will combo, though. But crouch short will not combo if I'm lower to the ground. And it's about height, not distance. See, if I'm all the way over here, it's about height. So, like, if I'm over here and I go high, I still, maybe not. But the height is the height and the distance. They're equally valuable. Let's put it that way. But this would be your standard connecting combo. That's an extremely important combo because the tackle, by ending with tackle, you're able to tackle into Aegis, which is an extremely powerful tool in the corner that allows for a lot of offensive pressure to begin. And it's certainly something to become aware of moving forward, as it's going to be kind of your bread and butter in terms of big combo starters in the corner. Okay? In the mid-screen, you can do tackle Aegis if it lands. If it's blocked, you better have an Aegis behind, but you can also, if it lands, sometimes you're able to connect combos like that, or if you're further away, sometimes you can connect into a sweet spot. See, there's always ways. That would be tackle Aegis pressure, which is talked about more extensively in the tackle Aegis video. But that would be a really, really strong way to get offensive pressure going. A landed headbutt is another great example of how to get offensive pressure going. If you get a landed headbutt, you're able to take space. If they don't quick rise, and they often don't, you can double dash in. So when you get a headbutt, you can double dash, which takes a lot of space. You can go into charge partitions as well, which is talked about in, I'm doing the wrong charge partition, but that's another thing you can do. But when you get a landed headbutt, you can take space. You can push towards the corner. You can kind of impose yourself. So when you get a landed headbutt, you can also go into EX Aegis pressure, which is really strong for a nice juggle that fully pushes the corner. If you get an EX headbutt, this is going to push the corner more so than pretty much any other move. You can essentially go corner to corner with EX headbutt. So if I land an EX headbutt, I mean, that's an enormous amount of screen that I've covered. It's even more screen when it's done like this. I mean, like I'm corner to corner there. EX headbutt can be landed off of stand medium punch into EX headbutt. It can be landed off of launcher into EX headbutt. It can be landed raw. It can be landed after charge partition. Well, he didn't quick rise because he's a fucking asshole. He's not playing by the rules. It can be landed after a charge partition. It can be landed after a charge partition in this capacity. There's ways to get the EX headbutt, and it pushes the corner, and it's a great way to set up your Aegis pressure. My microphone's been dying a lot, so I have to check. My microphone is still working. Thank you. Wonderful. So, extremely valuable. EX headbutt or a landed headbutt to take space, to take the pressure, to take advantage of it fully, to understand, like, I have a moment of opportunity here. I've landed an EX headbutt. I can push the corner this way, or once you get stronger, you can start moving him around the screen with EX headbutts. Why would I push Ryu this way? Why would I push him this way when I can send him back this way? That's how you create offensive pressure, is you have a control of your opponent. You can put him where you want to put him. When you get the opportunity to move him, you move him. When you get an opportunity to dictate where he's going to end up, you dictate where he's going to end up. You don't do something like this. New players will do something like this. What's the value in that? What's the value in that? Optimal would be this. Second optimal would be a mid-screen unblockable, because at least that creates the opportunity to get you in the corner over this way. But a headbutt doesn't push the corner. A tackle pushes the corner significantly more than a headbutt, and a launcher EX headbutt tackle pushes the corner even more. But a headbutt is not a good thing to do if you're trying to, push the corner. An EX headbutt into an early medium kick tackle, which is a surprisingly challenging thing to time, on Shoto specifically, is a great way to push the corner. If you're in the mid-screen, something like this would push the corner quite nicely. Mid-screen unblockables obviously start up pressure. When you get a launcher, landing a launcher is a huge part of this game. And you're going to get launchers in basically 3 different ways. You're going to get them as punishes. So, just to demonstrate, you can launcher this, but the optimal punish, well, it's because he's on that. I have all these other. It's on random. I don't want it to be on random. Just normal, please. Thank you. Oh my God, Ryu, chill out, dude. Optimal would actually be something along those lines. See the amount of damage. See the amount of damage. And you can go into really huge juggles in the corner with this. So, but for simplicity's sake, let's go with jab shoryu. So you block a jab shoryu, that's where you get a launcher. Great. How about this? You parry a jab shoryu. You parry a jab shoryu. You get a launcher. Great. How about this? You bait a throw. You're in a situation where Ryu whiffs a throw. Dude, are you gonna fucking do this or what, Ryu? Dude, what did I just throw? It's like, no big deal, dude. You get a baited throw. That's a really, really strong way to get a launcher, is on a baited throw. It's most effectively done in the corner. So you'll see the amount of time that you have to punish this whiff grab animation is enormous. See, I'm doing it too early, watch. Come on, Ryu. You have an enormous amount of time to punish that. So punish it. Bait it out. Shimmy in, shimmy out. Look for the whiff grab animation, and then launch. Launch. That's another way to get launcher. Third way would be off of an anti-air. So if you land a launcher anti-air, that'll push the corner as well. Anti-airs in general are a nice way to start pressure up. Obviously, a landed sphere is going to create an enormous amount of damage. This is something that you should absolutely learn, this combo. This is a very simple combo. Roundhouse tackle, EX tackle, roundhouse tackle, medium tackle. Very, very, very strong combo. That landed sphere is also effective in the mid-screen, where if you land that, you can go into mid-screen unblockables, which I see a lot of players don't seem to understand that. They have this hyper-fixation on getting a landed sphere and going to like various forms of EX tackle, but you can get a mid-screen unblockable. It's like really not a big of a deal. So unblockables in general, I mean, this is a great way to create pressure. Obviously, it's in the mid-screen. It's really strong. So anti-airs, air-to-airs. Watch this. Air-to-air is so useful. Create pressure with dashes after an air-to-air. Once you get really strong with your charge partitioning, you can do things like this, where you can create kind of out-of-nowhere style partitions. RB is really good at that, where RB will land something like that. Fuck you, man. I just want to land a combo. Okay, fine. So, like, an air-to-air pushes the corner a lot. It's really useful, and it creates an air reset. And these air resets are really valuable for Aegis pressure. That can be really strong. A neutral jump medium punch can be really good to set up an Aegis. You have to find these little opportunities off of throw, off of jump roundhouse, off of an anti-air sphere, off of an air-to-air, off of a headbutt. When you get a headbutt, the dashing, off of an EX headbutt. When you get an EX headbutt, the corner carry. Am I going to keep him on this side, or am I going to send him back into the corner? When I get a launcher, how am I going to control him? Am I going to go into a standard mid-screen unblockable? Or am I going to go into an EX headbutt unblockable? There's different choices, but that launcher is going to come primarily as a punish move early on in your career, and then it'll become more of a bait move, and then at some point you can start using it into more unique and exciting combos. But I mean, that's a fantastic way to push the corner. Launch your fireball, sphere, tackle in. I mean, does it get any better than that? That covers like half of the screen. The tackle in off the sphere like that pushes the corner beautifully. Air to air, like mentioned, air to air is really, really strong to create 50-50s and to create the opportunity for kind of out of nowhere charge partitions. You can do those types of charge partitions in other places as well. RX does that one quite often. It can be done off neutral jump as well. Tackle pressure, I mean, on block. And this, again, is explained more in depth. I'm not going to go into it too much. But tackle pressure on block after post throw, this can be a nice way to kind of get things going. On a jump in, it can be a nice way to get things going. You can do the same thing with crouch short. You can do the same thing with crouch short fireball Aegis. Crouch short fireball Aegis is one of the most effective ways to get pressure going. Jump roundhouse crouch short fireball Aegis, dude, that's like locks you down. Jump roundhouse stand medium punch fireball Aegis, it's not bad. It's not bad, but it's not as good. This is better. When I go high, I usually go into tackle. When I go low, I go into crouch short fireball Aegis. That's how you push the corner. It's a combination of throws. It's a combination of tackles into ages, primarily tackles into ages. Getting a landed headbutt, getting a forward throw, getting a jump roundhouse that puts them into block stun. That allows you to get your aegis out that way. It comes into effect when you land an anti-air or an air-to-air. When you get an anti-air, it pushes them back a little bit. If you get an anti-air launcher, that'll push them back a little bit. If you get an anti-air EX headbutt, that'll get them pushed back a little bit. If you get any form of EX headbutt, that'll push them back a little bit. But you can create pressure off of those primary moves. Throw, air-to-air, anti-air, launcher, tackle, headbutt, EX headbutt, anti-air sphere, parry, punish. That's kind of how it goes. And one of the best ones, the most famous one, is the back throw. I mean, what creates pressure more than a back throw? It's one of the cheapest things you can do in the entire game. It's just a matter of when you get these opportunities, what are you going to do with it? Each one of these things has its own branch. It branches off. Talk about the importance of launcher, but what do you do with the launcher when you get it? How do you maximize your efficiency? Do you go into mid-screen unblockables? Do you go into EX headbutts? Do you go into character-specific corner combos? What mid-screen combos? Do you go into something like this, which is unoptimal because this is not the right combo for the character? You want to maximize your pressure. When you get a jump roundhouse, do you have these routes defined? Whether it be crouch jab headbutt, whether it be crouch short headbutt, jump roundhouse stand medium punch. Do you land it and then you can tackle? Do you spend your meter? How are you spending your meter? It's a lot easier to create pressure when you have an Aegis. It's very hard to create pressure with Urien when you don't have a meter or a mirror. If you don't have a mirror, it's going to be really, really challenging to create kind of strong pressure. I would absolutely look into something like this. I think it's one of the most effective ways to create pressure. Tackle into Aegis primarily in the corner is very, very strong. The issue is when people, they don't understand that the mid-screen is not about meter usage outside of launcher, off of a punish or a parry or a bait. This is me working you to the corner. A lot of people have a challenge understanding pushback. This is how you work someone to the corner with normal moves. You can't get in and you don't want to spend your Aegis and you're getting anti-aired over and over again. Max range your pokes and you'll push him back to the corner. Urien's moves have huge amounts of pushback on them. Huge amounts of pushback. Look how far Stand Fierce sends him back. Crouch roundhouse. Stand medium kick. Stand medium punch. Stand medium punch sends him back so far. Like jump roundhouse, stand medium punch, tackle, Aegis, that pushes him all the way to the corner. So, take all of this in mind. Learn the various routes. Look at the other videos where I go into these specific things, whether it be tackle Aegis or sphere Aegis. Get comfortable with the throw Oki. Get comfortable with recognizing when you're in a good position. When you get a landed headbutt, you're in a good position. When you get a launch of fireball Aegis, you're in a good position. When you get a crouch short fireball Aegis, you're in a good position. When you get a tackle Aegis, you're in a good position. When you get an anti-air sphere. And take those good positions and make them better positions and then set them up for the corner. Go watch the corner Aegis video and learn how to abuse the corner, and watch the Leaving Mongolia and the X-Minute Murder videos so you can actually learn what mid-screen combos and corner combos to do to really optimize your damage. But you're going to get to the corner and you're going to get to big damage through those 5 or 6 different styles of offense. Jumping, parrying, getting a launcher, getting a punish, getting a forward throw, landing a headbutt, landing an EX headbutt, landing a tackle into Aegis, landing a crouch short fireball Aegis, landing a launcher fireball Aegis, landing a fierce sphere, landing an air-to-air, landing an anti-air. Getting a sweep. That's another one. Getting a sweep. The knockdown is important. You can take a little space with a sweep. You can dash once. You cannot dash twice. You're vulnerable there. But you can dash once. And you can take that space. It's your space. And as you get stronger, you can actually start charge partitioning off of your sweeps by pressing up. But that's for another video. But yeah, I think that should be basically it, guys. Good luck, and I appreciate you hanging out. GG.